So next we're going to introduce our next Solutioneer team, who is with Tiny House Developers.
Hi, so I'm Jessie Destreas. I'm the project lead for the Tiny House Developers team. I'm a senior majoring in sustainability and minoring in business. And to keep myself busy during the quarantine, I've been playing with my cat and making him an Instagram.
I'm Rachel Antidormi. I'm a sophomore majoring in sustainability, and something that is keeping me going through the quarantine is definitely home workouts.
Hi, my name is Andrea Castro. I'm a freshman studying sustainability with a minor in Spanish. And something I love doing during quarantine is weekend hikes with my family.
Hi, my name is Iona Isaacson. I'm a sophomore studying conservation biology and ecology with a minor in sustainability. I'm getting through quarantine by working out and cooking a lot.
Hi there, I'm Megan Marshall. I'm a junior studying sustainability with a focus in food systems. And during quarantine, I've been baking a lot of banana bread and playing the ukulele a whole bunch.
My name is Kate Steelmaker. I am a graduate student studying sustainable tourism. I'm staying busy during quarantine by roller skating. I just got a new pair of skates. I'm getting back into that and doing yoga.
Okay, so this semester we partnered with Tiny House Developers, which is a nonprofit design and construction company, and they work to provide sustainable and affordable housing for all. So they are partnered with an organization called Build Us Hope. It stands for Housing Opportunities Provided for Everyone. And so they just create housing opportunities for people who may be struggling, for example, veterans or homeless people. And then I'll talk about our project partners. So we had two this semester, Ben Strauss and Sage Hansen. Ben works for sales management and Sage works for procurement management. And they were really great this semester. They helped us out so much. We got to tour the facility and they helped us align our goals together. And it was really great because they kept in touch with us so good. And then they were actually both Solutioneers and they were both project leads as well. So then Iona is going to talk more about why we worked with them.
All right, so Tiny House Developers reached out to us because they noticed a need for a recycle and reuse system in their facility to reduce their construction waste. So when we started working with them, our project partner walked us through the facility and pointed out the specific construction materials that they needed help with, including wood, drywall, pallets, screws, among other things. And they also let us know that they needed help with establishing a basic recycling bin at their facility. And on top of waste mitigation, they also wanted to increase their community outreach in the Phoenix area. So they called on us to help them develop these connections.
And to address these challenges, both Tiny House Developers and GreenLight Solutions, we created a plan to implement a recycling program within their main facility while also creating volunteer and internship programs. And to execute that, we're able to connect the company with recycling partners around the Phoenix area, providing a network for future internship opportunities and creating outreach opportunities to let Tiny House Developers grow.
So for our solutions, we created waste diversion streams of miscellaneous building materials that were being collected at Tiny House Developers, such as metal, plumbing, wood pallets. This consists of local recycling partners, such as Stardust or Waste Management, and that's who we got our recycling dumpster for the facility. We also help facilitate scholarships for students interested in an internship with Tiny House Developers, and we utilize the untapped potential with different organizations in the community through engagement and networking at local events.
So ultimately, we decided on two objectives to work on for this project. The first objective was to establish recycling practices within the facility. After reviewing the list of materials that tiny house developers had to recycle, we decided that 40% of them being diverted from the landfill was a realistic goal. To do this, we started by providing information to the tiny house developers on purchasing a recycling dumpster through waste management. So this took care of the basic items like paper, plastic, and cardboard. For the miscellaneous items like the business card holders and the buckets, we had to come up with a more creative solution. So we decided to create recycling partnerships and donation networks by reaching out to local companies like Recycled City and Stardust. Finally, we decided that we wanted to provide education for the tiny house employees on how to recycle all of these items. We found a guide from the city of Phoenix on what items are allowed to be recycled in the dumpster. And then one of our team members actually created an infographic for what to do with the miscellaneous items. Our second objective was to assist in company growth. After all of the coronavirus chaos is over, the tiny house developers would like to hire some interns. So our goal was to find them 3 scholarship opportunities. This would provide them with some financial aid while they help out with the company. We also wanted to find 3 organizations for the tiny house developers to connect with to help expand their support system. So we looked at organizations with similar missions and goals, like sustainable building organizations, and then ones that help veterans. And then lastly, we wanted to find 3 events for tiny house developers to attend. So they recently went to the Maricopa County Home and Garden Show. So we wanted to find similar events like that. At these events, they would be able to find people interested in volunteering or even people who were looking to buy a tiny home.
So overall, the team was able to go above and beyond with our results for the 2 objectives. Hold on, is this the right slide?
That's the only slide I've got.
All right, so I'm just going to talk about the results real quick. So overall, the team was able to go above and beyond with our results. For the 2 objectives, both KPIs were met, including 67% of materials diverted from landfills, and 5 partnerships were established to ensure that the waste keeps being diverted from these landfills. And some examples of these partnerships we were able to make in Phoenix include Stardust for plumbing materials, tile, siding, and roofing, AA Pallet and Lumber Co. for wood, We Buy Scrap AZ for metals, and even the ASU Student Government for the business card holders, and a recycling dumpster with waste management for papers, plastic, and cardboard. And for objective 2, we were able to assist company growth by finding 7 potential scholarships for future interns and 8 organizations and 3 events where they can network. We did encounter some setbacks due to the coronavirus outbreak, like communication difficulties when establishing these partnerships because of stay-at-home orders that resulted in employees not answering business calls or returning emails. Even though we had these setbacks, we were still able to accomplish more than our original KPIs, and we're really happy about that.
Awesome job, you guys. Way to do it on the fly there at the end. I think there was a malfunction with the slides there, but awesome job. You guys did an amazing job even on the fly. So we're going to go into our Q&A session real fast now. So the first question is what type of materials does Tiny House use? Do they have any plans for how to sustainably handle harmful waste like chemically treated materials?
Unfortunately, one of the problems we ran into was figuring out exactly what kind of material we are dealing with because we weren't able to visit the facility often. And so what I found was most materials that were contaminated were not able to be recycled. An example includes like buckets was one of the materials they wanted to be reused, but because it had paint in it, for example, it could not be recycled. So that's one conundrum we ran into.
So the next question is, have you considered helping create a virtual internship opportunity so Tiny House can grow even during the pandemic?
Right now, Tiny House Developers is actually closed due to the pandemic. So that's why we kind of put the whole internship search on pause.
So our next question is, do you think these waste diversion methods are transferable to many other organizations? And the second part to that question is there a handbook or something that could be used by others?
So we actually did make flyers to use at the Tiny House Developers facility, and it tells you like where to put some of those where to donate some of those miscellaneous materials like wood or metal or plumbing. Ironically, Stardust actually takes a lot of that stuff, and that is something that could be transferable to different organizations using the same material.
We also originally had considered creating a handbook, but based on the time constraints, we weren't able to do that. But if we were to continue this project, that would be one of the things we wanted to get done.
Awesome job. If there are any, there is another question. Sorry. Do you think it would be possible to do lean off of plastic usage in general in their business?
I think that's a question for Sage, who I think is here with us now, if you would like to contribute.
I am, yes. Possible to lean off of plastic usage in general in their business. That would be difficult because, well, plastic is used in everything. It's used in the packaging that a lot of the wood comes in on pallets. A lot of the materials that we use in building the homes, they are also built with plastic. Perhaps in the future, it's something that we could look at, maybe finding other suppliers that are looking at only using either reusable packaging or are producing without plastic. Maybe another option would be looking at suppliers that will have a circular, a closed loop, where they will take back plastic at the end of the life cycle and make new products with it. So it is possible in the future, but that's something that we need to do more research on, and possibly a couple of GreenLight projects.
Very cool. So the next question is do you think there could be a network of people who have land that they'd like to rent out?
Network of people. I don't really understand the question.
I think this is Elizabeth. This is from the Tiny House Developers as well. We are trying to put together a network of people that would rent out their land. We actually just started this week asking people. We wanted to wait until we were finished launching our new website to see if we could find certain lands that meet certain zoning codes that we could be able to build either multiple homes or one home, and not build, just allow for people with tiny homes who would like to stay there, be able to multiply that space, and then, you know, put in some gray water systems, you know, it's figuring out how we can make it less cumbersome for the owner, at the same time allow for the tiny homes to use up the space that particularly wouldn't be used in other ways. So we are working on our website to have a space with our realtors to offer people to offer their land while people are looking for places to put them as well.
Awesome. So we're running out of time for this Q&A session, so I apologize if I didn't get to everyone's questions. Again, we'll have breakout rooms later on where you can message in the chat, but you can also message your questions on Facebook as well as through LinkedIn. But awesome job, you guys. Thank you so much.